Welcome, welcome, Lizzo Nation. We welcome you today on our Facebook Live, on both our YouTube channel and on Facebook Live. We welcome you on our appreciative of what we are doing. You've been supporting us throughout, and we are very appreciative of that. So, Lizzo Nation on our tea with Lizzo today. And then you can just see this is a month of a stalwart, a month of a former veteran, a month where we praise the great movement of liberation in the, I think it's the third greatest movement of liberation, stalwart, Honorable Mr. Rolihlahla Nelson Mandela, as we celebrate his birthday on the minutes, in order for us to make sure that we give back to the community. But this year, we are all doing this via the tremendous, stressful season where the world all over, we are faced with the pandemic of COVID-19. So we want to say to the people that are affected, to their families, as the whole world, then we need to be supportive of each other. As the President of the Republic has said, this is not supposed to be the stigma. It is what we need to tolerate in our life, what we need to live with for a number of months or years to come as well. So I see yesterday's the statistics in terms of South Africa. We've just passed Saudi Arabia. We are at 238,339, 1,000 with 3,720 deaths. So, which is not a good thing to, it's not a good statistic to say. Like we always encourage, you must get the statistics from the reliable sources like your Johns Hopkins University and medicine. So we encourage people to do this. So we're not supposed to take COVID-19 as a stigma because it is something that no one knew about. It is something that we are starting to get relevancy in terms of it, where it originated, how is it contained, or how is it supposed to be contained, how does it spread. So these are the things that we are starting to learn they are starting to come to the fore in order for us to be to not be scared by this, in order for us to challenge it head on, but by making sure that we follow the government regulation. So we know from our government regulation that what is of paramount importance is that we need to always make sure that we wash our hands for at least 20 seconds with water and soap or an alcohol-based sanitizer. We need to make sure that we avoid crowded areas. We need to make sure that at all times we listen to reliable news, not fake news. We need to make sure that when we cough into our elbow or a tissue, and then when we have a sore throat or something, a fever-like symptom, we need to make sure that we contact our medical specialist. And then before we go and see them, we must give them a call, and let us make sure that we all, by all means, when we are in a public area, we do what? We must wear a mask. Must always wear a mask, and then keep social distancing as well, 1.5 to 2 meters from you to the next person, in order for you to get the grades in terms of the basic education. And then we've just seen from the Department of Higher Education that they have had encouragement from the herbalists to come, or traditional medicine people to come in and then have a tremendous role in terms of maybe finding the vaccine in order for the pandemic to be contained as well in this case. So there are a lot of things that are happening that the government is including everyone in it. We remember there was an issue of the UIF funding that each company that has registered their employees will get. We started to see that rolling out on a monthly basis. And there was an issue of the funding that is done by the Department of Agriculture, that the government has started distributing those funds. I had an interaction with one of the consultants from a big company that does the feed. They sell feed, so they've had some companies coming to them, and guys that have applied for this funding, they will get 50,000, where 7,000 will be dedicated specifically for what? For the medicine, for the vaccination of the animals, and then the food will get the balance, which is 43,000 will go for the feed. Because when you're dealing with livestock, you need to make sure that at least the body condition, so that it can be able to breed. That is what you want. Starvation of animals is not needed. So the government is doing a tremendous work in this regard as well. So there are other funds that are being opened as well. So we need to be on the lookout for those things. And let me take this opportunity to thank very much the South African Chamber of Commerce and Industry for the support that they've had to their affiliatee, which is one of us, as I come from Nala Business Chamber here in the Free State. So they've been supportive of us. They've been giving us information. We've been passing that information to our member as well. So we hope that our members, by our help, that they've been helped in terms of making sure that they access some of these opportunities, because it is imperative that whatever government has put in there, we, to our aid, we must use that to our utmost opportunity as well, in order for us to survive in our businesses that we are running, to survive and then keep the standard of our livelihood at the same par as it was before COVID-19 hit us in the middle of March of 2020 in South Africa, where we had one case that was coming from KwaZulu-Natal, the Hilton, in the Hilton section, where one case from someone that was coming from abroad was registered, and then the health ministry attended that expeditiously, because they did expedite. They did go, they tried to contain this, like I've done in other provinces. So we are starting to see a trajectory that is starting to happen now. When you go provincial by provincial, as we see now, Gauteng has overtaken now the Western Cape with the number of infections. And then we've heard from the MMC or the MEC for health, Dr. Bandile Masuku, what are the programs that they are doing in terms of making sure that the hospitals are ready, the beds, the stadiums that we've been converted to hospitals, they are ready, the beds, in terms of the number of patients that will be coming in because of the surge of this as we are approaching our month of August, where they said the surge of the pandemic the surge of the infections will be at a higher number from the middle of August towards the end of September. So we must be ready for that. But I think I have confidence that Dr. Pandile Masuku from the Gauteng provincial legislature has already addressed these issues with all their colleagues there. So Gauteng basically will become the epicenter of COVID-19 from now going forward. So we pray for God to intervene. We pray for the power to come in and then make us not look dumb in the whole world, because we've been doing a tremendous work in terms of containing this. So I've been heavy, but I was not able to voice it out. Was in Kenya, like I've mentioned in one of our Facebook, decided that the schooling will not be open for 2020 season. So I think the other parents are up in arms to say no. So it means 2020 was not a year. So we've paid already tuition because some of our kids are studying on boarding. So what is going to happen in that? But the government has decided via the ministry in Kenya that there will be no schooling for this year. They opted for option one, which was September. But when they did their own analysis, their interpolation, the interpretation of the data, they found that if they can do the school reopening, they will have a problem where the number of infections are increased. So they've decided to can it then open the school next year, provided that the numbers of COVID-19 infections are lowered in Kenya. So I had another interaction with my friend from Zambia. They are managing to contain it in terms of the increase of the COVID-19 patients. I think they are lowering that in Zambia. So they are successful in that. So thanks Jafet Mushinga for sharing that with me yesterday when I was interacting. And then I interacted with Jolly Joy from Kenya, where their biggest concern now was the school tuition that were paid. So what is going to happen to that? The repercussion of the children not attending school for a whole year. And the other issue that is of concern that I wanted to mention and voice out, because of students are loitering or learners are loitering on the streets. In Kenya, they've got testing up the roof. So I think, and then this is what I've just said. I've said the way I see people loitering on the street, there might be a problem in terms of the teenage pregnancy that we might have when it comes to 2021. So you can see a lot of dynamics that are at play here. A lot of things are at play. When you give people time to say you must stay in this regard. So I'm using Plan and help executives to make sure that they realize the productivity they will have once they synchronize people, processes, and systems in line with their return on investment that they will want from what they've put in. So I do this by making sure that people their life cycle of whatever business, whatever non-profit organization you are running, a close corporation, or you are running a chamber or a foundation. So these are the things that we help. And then on engineering today, it's a very straightforward topic. You must be you. We've learned from Star Wars. We've learned from Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela was never a two-faced person. As we celebrate this month, you must be you. I will encourage you to be yourself. So being yourself means you must live by the value that we have set for our elders doing, what we saw our siblings doing. And we said from the onset, I don't want to be like my brother. I don't want to be like my cousin. I want to be a that I want in my family. So you must become yourself. Set a target for yourself. And then when you have a goal that you are living for, when you be, I will never be corrupted. I will never be envious. I will encourage people to prosper. Whether it is schooling, whether it is business, people must be successful. But I will not tolerate corruption under my watch. I will hold it. I will hold it by its horn. It will come to a stop. So you must be you. If you are not you, people will use you. Because what you do, become yourself. You become what? A leader. You lead. People can't get, how did you get this setting? You are doing bad things. Because whatever you do, you are doing it based on an open book policy. You are because what you stand for. What you stand for is the thing that will attract people to you. What you stand for, if you stand for the truth, you will attract the people that stand for the truth. If you do not stand for the truth, you stand for corruption, you will attract people that love corruption, that people that corruption is in their blood veins. So you'll attract those people. You will attract partnership. You will get people that are making offers to you to say, can we join forces? We've seen the tremendous amount of things that we are doing, and then you've been doing this based on the information that we've had, the information that we've never manipulated people to have, information that we are with the intellectual rights to have. So can we move forward and forge the relationship so that we give value to people? So that is what I want you to be. Become what you are. You attract people. That is why I like it when Grant Baldwin is saying it. You are the average of the 5 people you spend your time with. If you're corrupt, you'll be the people that are in your midst will be people that are corrupt. If you are true to the court, benefiting anything, just give him value, and then God will see during his time what is it that you will get from giving people the information that they are supposed to get. So becoming yourself is very important because you are not manipulative. There's no one that is sitting there with a remote control that is saying you must do this. This is what you must tell people. This is what you must do. Or we've seen you are doing tea with Lizzie now. We want you to cut off that program because that program is showing our backside. It is not showing us in the right format, so you must cut it. So you suddenly see me cutting off this program because people have come and they've voiced out their concern that I'm exposing them. No, I must become myself. We've got a freedom that was fought by the stalwarts, Tata or Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela. They were people who were not allowed, especially when you're a person of color, you were not allowed to voice out your concern. You were not allowed. There were curfews that were there. You were not allowed to travel in other districts in this regard. So, but now you've got the freedom that is enshrined in our constitution, a freedom of speech. So we must be tolerated to say, we must be tolerated to go on platforms like this, on Facebook Live or in YouTube channel, to voice out our concern, to voice out what we feel, because we've got the right to do that. As an individual, we have no right to infringe on another person's interest as well. You have a right to voice it out if you have a concern and you address it. No one has got a right to assault. We have a right to meetings, but we do not have a become yourself. So if I feel like tomorrow I need to meet with the president of the country, I have the right to request such a meeting because I'm a concerned citizen. And if I come from a fraternity of engineers, I'm a concerned engineer. If I come from the fraternity of business, I'm a concerned business person that want their voices to be heard. So you become yourself in these circumstances. You do not pretend. But this is rooted in terms of what was your mission, what was your passion, what is your value, what is the value that you are driving to people. We do not stand, or we are not manipulated. We are not the mouthpiece of other people. I'm not a mouthpiece of someone. I'm a mouthpiece of my interest. I'm a mouthpiece of what I'm doing and what I've been doing, what I've been saving, giving value to people, an engineer, a broadcaster, an entrepreneur, and a speaker. So whatever I do it based on the experience that I've had, the value that I'm giving to you, the value that I've had. Because remember, you interact with people in this lifetime. You interact with people that some of them are double-sided. Today, they are standing with you. Tomorrow, they are not standing. One must shift your focus. Even if people can come with money and say, no, we want you to can this program. This is the project will be given to you. You must stand to the core to say, no, this is what I stand for. No amount of digging in terms of my background will make me halt what I'm doing, because I'm giving value to the people. There are people out there that are looking for the information that I've heard, that are looking for the information that you and I, people of integrity, we are having. There are stories that can be told that can encourage and motivate people. So we need people like you to come on and start doing programs like Tea with Lizwe, and then sharing your stories there, because it is imperative that you do not know how many people you influence. If I have 5 friends, those 5 friends message to the other 5 people, so it's 8 times 5. I don't know maths, but you can just imagine how much is them by giving them value. Do not generate a data that is not non-existent. So you need to have an existing data, so that when you tell people your story, you tell people your story of travel, because storytelling is very important. Storytelling in terms of what did you do can encourage other people to come out of the shell, drive forward. So even during these hard times, during these trying times of COVID-19, we still need people that are becoming themselves. Because becoming yourself, it means you will protect the next person. The next person, whether it's the loved one, whether it's your mother, whether it's your brother, whether it's your father, whether it's your grandfather, you are going to protect them. You're going to do what the government has requested you to do. So we need to oblige by those National Coronavirus Command Council regulation and standards. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for attending our TV Fleas on both channels, whether it's YouTube or Facebook Live. We are on Instagram, we are on Twitter, we are on LinkedIn, we are on TikTok as well. So follow us in all those platforms, because we are determined that out of our programs you get value for free, not value for your money, but value for free. So listen and follow us on a daily basis. So we hope you have a fantastic weekend, and be safe, because if you look at yesterday, in terms of the infection was 13,697. So be safe, stay at home, alone together, protect your loved ones. So from us at Lizard Nation, at Lizard Media Group, we want to say thank you very much for listening to our Tea with Lizard, and have a fantastic weekend, and then may God bless, and then stay safe. Always stay safe. So thank you very much. Until we see each other next week, we want to say a goodbye and good luck. God bless. Thank you.